Когато се тръгна следващата ми гостенка, аз и Сашо я изпращаме и той ми казва: откъде го намери това момиче? Страхотно е! Откъде? И аз се чудя откъде. Това беше абсолютна случайност, пръста на съдбата. Просто си търсих се квартирантка и тя се появи. Благодарение на Андреа, живота ми се променя в една много по-положителна посока. Живея с нейната котка, което е уникално, защото ти хем имаш котка, ама тя не е твоя, нито и купуваш храна, нито и чисти. Просто е перфектно. Та, вижте Андреа, тя има какво да ви сподели. Забравих охлювите.
My name is Andrea. I'm 27 years old. I come from Romania. I grew up there. I left when I was 19 to study in London. I studied animation for 3 years because at the time I wanted to be like a filmmaker. I wanted to do animations, so I decided to study that. And yeah, I lived in London for 3 years. That was cool. But then after I was done with uni, I was like, I don't want to get a job, so I just decided to travel, like just with a backpack with my partner at the time. We traveled for almost 3 years, I think, like 2 years and 8 months, something like that. We went just backpacking and hitchhiking, stuff like that. And then while we were on the road, we decided to visit like Sofia because my partner at the time was from Burgas. But we were like, oh, let's go check out like Sofia. And I met some really, really interesting people here. I think we stayed for like maybe 3 weeks or something. And we found out about this vegan festival that some people were organizing from Food Not Bombs. I think you guys know about Food Not Bombs. And we were like, that's so cool because I guess I'm vegan and like there's not much, I guess, of a vegan movement in East Europe. Like it's not as popular maybe as like in the UK. So I was really excited to help them like organize this festival. And that's how I met people from Food Not Bombs and Fabrica Autonomia. And I just thought all these people were really cool and doing really amazing stuff in Sofia. So it just kind of stayed with me. And then I left Sofia and I continued traveling, but then I got really tired of traveling and I was like, oh, maybe we should go and like move somewhere. And I was like, what about Sofia? Like maybe we could go and like just keep doing activism there because yeah, I just really like the vibe here. So that's how I ended up in Sofia. Romanian culture is very similar to Bulgarian culture. Yeah, I mean it's very strange. It's almost like a sister country. I like to think of it that way. You know, we have a very similar history and very similar traditions and very similar like folklore and songs and even jokes and expressions and a lot of like similar words. So I guess it almost feels like home here, but I would say there are some similarities. But I think ultimately, like every Bulgarian kind of just understands Romanians and every Romanian understands Bulgarian. And I feel like when you go really close to the border, like for example, people who live around like the Danube, you really see that cultural stuff, like it's just melting and it's really just the same culture. So I think it's really cool. It's very similar. Yeah, Romanians and Bulgarians are very similar. From Romania, I miss the most my dog and my cat. I really miss them a lot. Where I have lived, I miss the most. I miss my friends from London. Especially now with the pandemic, I can't travel really to the UK. So yeah, I have really, really close friends there that I miss a lot. So I would say from Romania and from the UK, I guess it's the people, my pets, stuff like that I miss. I don't really get attached to physical locations as much, but people, for sure. In Romania, we solve problems. I would say we complain about problems a lot. I'm not sure we solve them that much. I think we're definitely a nation of complainers, for sure. Where I have lived, they solve problems. I guess in the UK, it's different. You know, if you have a problem like in your university or your workplace or something, like you go and you talk to someone about it, and there's like someone that will take in your complaint or something and help you with it. Whereas I feel like in East Europe in general, it's just like figure it out on your own. Just figure it out. Don't complain about it. Just go and do it. In Bulgaria, people accept me. Yeah, people accept me in Bulgaria. Like I think because I'm an artist, I feel like I received a lot of support here. For my illustrations, for my tattoo work, I do tattoos as well, for my activism, for my projects that I do with Violetki. So Violetki Collective is a project that I started with a bunch of friends, and we basically do activism related to LGBT themes, and we try to connect, I guess, LGBT people and try to connect them with art and like give them a space to express themselves through their art. And through community like Fabrica, Autonomia and Violetki Collective, I really found community here, and I felt very accepted. Even though I'm a foreigner, I never felt like I couldn't have an opinion about something. So that was always really important to me, and that's what drew me to Sofia initially, that I felt like a connection to these people that I didn't even know very well before I moved. And I was like, yeah, Fabrica Autonomia, like I want to move there because of that, because I thought the people there were really doing stuff that was really important for like East Europe in general. Like, for example, in the UK, there's a lot of social centers, there's a lot of community places, you know, it's just part of the culture there, whereas I feel like in East Europe, we don't really have that. So it was really important for me to be part of a community center like Fabrica Autonomia, or to do stuff related to art, but in a way that connects me to community, to not feel, to not experience this very individualistic kind of capitalistic way of living, but just to feel more connected to different people and to do stuff with other people, because that's what really like inspires me and like motivates me in life. In Bulgaria, everyone thinks that zakuska means breakfast, but in fact in Romania zakuska means lutenica. So you guys got that wrong. In Bulgaria, I want to change. I would like to change, there's a lot of things, but I guess one thing that really weighs on me is the homophobia and transphobia in Bulgaria. But you know, this is not just in Bulgaria, it's in Romania as well, and I think it's a problem of the Balkans in general. This idea of like the traditional family being, you know, only certain people are allowed to have children, or only certain people are allowed to get married, or only certain people are allowed to call themselves a family. I think that's really sad, and I would really like that to change. And so that's what I try to do with my activism, and I think that's something that if I could change magically somehow in Bulgaria, that's what I would change. People here overdo with napkins at the expense of the environment. Honestly, like Bulgarians, like every time you sit down at a meal, they give you like these napkins, and it's just like, why? It's like they'll give you a banana and they'll give you like a napkin, and I'm just like, that's really not environmentally friendly. But you guys really have a thing for napkins. It's really funny. I'm feeling challenged, I guess, by people's different opinions, like when they don't match my own. And I realized that I need to be more just understanding where people are coming from, understanding that maybe not everyone has had the same opportunity for me to like travel, for example, and see different kinds of ways of living, different cultures, different, you know, I traveled a lot, so I feel like that was a privilege that I have that a lot of people don't have. So that's good to keep in mind when you don't agree with someone. Here I really like the villages and the nature, and I really like the like this Bulgarian architecture in the villages, like these houses. I think it's called kirpich, I'm not sure, but it's like these these houses made with like wood and mud and straw, and I really like that kind of like building, and these houses are really cool and the villages are really nice. I will tell you one funny story about when I moved to Sofia. I was like thinking of whether I should get pets or not, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to commit to like a pet. If I get a pet, I was thinking maybe I'll still want to travel. And yeah, my friend found 2 little kitties on the street, and she was like, yeah, you can just take them in just for like a little bit, and we will find a place for them, it's fine. And I was like, okay. And then as soon as they came into my house, I was like, you're never leaving here ever again. They're called Lupin and Murmur, and they're very sweet, and I can't live without them anymore. But I thought it was pretty funny because I was super convinced. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep these cats. I'm just taking care of them for 2 weeks. Like, they're not my cats. But as soon as they came into my apartment, I was like, over my dead body, I'm giving you to anyone else. Like, you're my cats now. Yeah.
За сега толкова от поредицата Тук съм с Деница. Може би ще се срещнем отново есента, но може би не. Затова пускайте си отново и отново епизодите, поне 3 пъти на седмица.